Hello dear students, welcome you all for the second session of 5th chapter Business Taxation 4 6th semester Mangalore University BCom. So in this session we are going to discuss input tax credits, its eligibility and conditions. So my presentation for this session will be eligibility to claim ITC and also conditions to claim ITC. So let's discuss the eligibility to claim ITC. So who can claim input tax credit as per the law, as per the GST Act? So first one is every registered person. So in order to claim ITC, first thing is you have to get registered. If you are not registered, whatever the purchases that you have made, whatever the input that you have purchased, you cannot deduct your tax while paying the while you are selling the goods. So you have to pay original tax to the government. So that's why this is the benefit given to the registered person only. That's why this is a motivation to every person who is not registered in GST to register, so that he can claim ITC from whatever the purchases that he has made. Second one, the goods or the services should be used for the furtherance of business. So whatever the goods or the services which he has bought for the purpose of business should be used for the furtherance of business. So furtherance of business means it should be used for the business purpose. It's not for the purpose to store it in godown. No, it should be either used as a raw material or any as a input or whatever should be used for the furtherance of business. It should be used for the business activity or business operation. Then should possess tax invoice or debit note. This is very important. What is the proof that you have purchased the goods? What is the proof that you have purchased the inputs? This is the original proof, tax invoice. So under which there will be the address proof of the buyer and also seller. There will be registration number, GSTN number, tax, every detail will be there in the tax invoice or the debit note issued by the register dealer. It should be possessed while claiming the input tax credit. Then has received goods or services. So once you have the tax invoice, definitely you have to receive the goods. So there is a proof has to be produced for receipt of goods or services in the business premises. Then tax should have been paid to the government. So the person who has collected tax from you while purchasing the goods, that tax must have been deposited to the government. So if it is not deposited, then you cannot claim, or you can inquire with regard to the seller whether he has deposited or not. So automatically it will reflect in the GST website or GST platform. So whether it has been paid or whether it has not been paid. So tax should have been deposited to the government. Should furnish the return under section 39, but you cannot claim refund or ITC if you are filing the return after the due date. This is very important. Should file the return before the due date under section 39. So if you want to claim the ITC, that is as per the GST Act, then no ITC if depreciation is claimed on the tax component of the capital goods. So normally in capital goods there is a depreciation. So if you are not claiming the depreciation, then there is a opportunity to claim the ITC. But if you are claiming the depreciation, then there is no ITC. You cannot claim ITC on the capital goods. So only for the capital goods you should remember depreciation. If depreciation is claimed, no ITC. If it is not claimed, then there is a chance of getting the ITC. Then what are the conditions to claim ITC? So eligibility is different, conditions are different. So first condition to claim ITC is you should possess the tax invoice. This is very important, or debit note. If you don't have this, forget about ITC. You cannot claim it. Second one is should receive goods and services. So this is another conditions. Okay, you should have received the goods and or might have claimed the service in your premises or wherever. You should receive the goods. Then should furnish the return. So it is compulsory for the person who wants to claim the ITC, he has to furnish the return. So return means if you are a regular under regular scheme, you have to file the returns monthly. So monthly return has to be filed, quarterly returns has to be filed, annual return has to be filed. Only then you are eligible to get the ITC. If you are not filed the returns, forget about it. You will not get the ITC. So that's why it is very important to file the return as per the GST Act or as per the GST law based on the scheme that you have opted. Next one is, if goods received in lots or installments, ITC is allowed on receipt of the last installment. This is very important. For example, you might have ordered for, or you might have paid the amount to receive 10,000 quantity of goods in installments. Okay, in installments. Now you have received only 2,000 as one lot. Remaining 8 lot you have not received, but you have given the amount, full amount. Now you cannot claim the ITC on the remaining 8. So you have to receive all the lots. 10,000 amount of quantity of goods has to be received if you want to claim the ITC. So till the receipt of the last installment. Then no ITC if depreciation is claimed on the tax component of the capital goods. If you are claiming depreciation on the capital goods means you will definitely claim the depreciation. But if you are claiming the depreciation, then there is no chance of ITC. You cannot claim ITC on capital goods on which depreciation is charged. Next one, if invoice or debit note should be received before the due date of filing the return. So invoice or debit note should be received before the due date of filing the annual return. So the date will be mentioned, the month will be mentioned. Before that you should receive the invoice, tax invoice or debit note in order to claim the ITC. Otherwise ITC cannot be claimed. So these are the various conditions to claim the ITC. So thank you for watching this video.